This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling great, Been on vacation all week, so I've been able to play some pickleball and hang out, do soccer, be with the family. It's been good week off here at home.
There you go. I'm doing a little pickleball too, by the way, and I actually went skating 2 nights ago, roller skating for a couple of hours. So it was good. My foot has responded well from the surgery. Finally, bro.
Glad to hear, man.
For months, I would try to exercise, and I'd have like pain in my foot for days, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I don't have any pain the next day at all. You know, there's a little soreness while I'm doing whatever it is, but that's just like I'm breaking my foot back in again and cartilage and all that bullshit. But the next day, no pain, no discomfort. And so now I'm like, it felt good, bro. And I was in a boot for a while, you know, in skating, you're in a boot for a couple of hours. So I was wondering, okay, would it torture it? Because I have a plate inside there, you know, and it was kosher, bro. So now I can actually exercise, which is really cool, man.
Good to hear. Good to hear, man.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So Canes making some changes. We've been talking about the coaching staff. So they add Will Harris, the Gators coach. Talk to us about that one.
Yeah, good pickup because you take somebody away from a rival, somebody that you're playing next season, right? So he's been in that system, obviously, over there at Florida for the past year. Good recruiter, got some really good DBs to come out of South Florida. Most recently, Ben Hanks Jr., who was one of the top 100 recruits in the country this past season. So you hit your rivals hard with that one, and he's a guy who's been around the block. He spent a season in the NFL with the Chargers. Before that, he was a defensive coordinator at Georgia Southern, so he's got experience calling plays. University of Washington before that for 5 seasons, so he's recruited on the West Coast. He's been all over the place in terms of his career and well-traveled, but that's a good pickup for Miami and the 4th new defensive coach that they've added to the staff, and now they're done. They've got basically everything complete unless somebody else decides to leave to go elsewhere. They've basically got their defensive staff intact under their new defensive coordinator, Corey Heatherman.
Okay. All right. I like that. And they've got some new DBs in there too. So, right?
Yeah, a lot of the roster is basically reshaped in the secondary. I think that's, you look at the transfer portal and what is in here now. You've got Charles Brantley from Michigan State, who's kind of the elder statesman, the guy who's got the most career starts, 24 career starts, over 1,400 snaps. He's probably gonna slide into that one of the safety slots just because he's one of the most experienced guys that they have. And then you've got some really good, second and third year guys that were starters the last couple seasons. Ethan O'Connor, kid from Washington State who comes over. You got Zechariah Poyser, from Jacksonville State, who was all conference, safety. Emmanuel Carnley from Arizona. And then the big one for Miami was Xavier Lucas, who they plucked away from Wisconsin. He's only a second year guy. 1 career start, but he's a guy that from a talent perspective, you look at and you say, man, that might be the best overall talent that they have at the cornerback position. So a lot of work done there. You got OJ Frederic coming back, who was a starter, freshman. I think we're in all conference honors as a freshman. So a guy that you can build around for the next couple of years. But he's taking over a talented young secondary with the new defensive coordinator. So a lot, in terms of when spring football starts on March 4th, a lot of interesting storylines to follow.
All right. So let me ask you the other one that I think is, I don't know about interesting, but a little intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
So Nickel is there and he's going to be backing up the Georgia guy.
Right.
Okay? So during the season, if you happen to be blowing somebody out, will they play Luke a little bit to get, or do they not want to risk that, maybe they can still redshirt him or something? Or has he already been redshirted? Has he already, did they already do that?
Luke Nichols coming in as a true freshman. So remember,
so that's right.
You can play up to 5 games, including the bowl game. The bowl game has to be that 5th game. So yes, I could totally see a scenario where they're playing people who aren't very good and they're winning big, and he's in there in the fourth quarter getting some work. So yes,
Okay,
I think
so
without
it's
question.
not one of those things that they're going to do it right away and oh, he's redshirted, he's not going to play. He could play and still get redshirted along the way, midway through the season or whatever, if he's played, like you said, those 5 games or whatever, or the 4 games, and then they redshirt him. So there is a chance that we could see Luke at least coming in to fill in a little bit then.
Yeah, there's no question. And look, Miami's got a tough schedule. Obviously, they open with Notre Dame, and they've got Florida at home, and you got it's there's not a bunch of cupcakes on the 2025 Miami Hurricane schedule, but certainly you could find 4 games where you should be able to slide him in there and get him some work. So I think without question, you could still achieve the big goal, which is get him some playing time. Bethune-Cookman, you can play him. USF at home, you could probably play them. I'm looking at the schedule here now as I got it in front of me. Those are 2 games right off the bat. Maybe Stanford. Stanford's probably not going to be very good, so you're probably going to blow that team out. But the rest of them, if you get them in 3 games and you let them play significant snaps, that's what you want. You want them to get a taste of it, and then you give them that bowl game. If you don't make the playoff, if you don't get to where you want to go,
wait a minute, you can still redshirt them after the bowl game.
You could still redshirt them. The 5th game that you're allowed to play is the bowl game. If you play 5 regular season games, you blow the red shirt. The rule is 4 games.
So you can be the whole season as long as you don't play the amount of games and still get redshirt. Wow,
that's how things have evolved. Yes, before you could only play them in the first window, X amount of snaps. But now, yes, it's tricky. The rules have changed quite a bit in college sports, brother.
All right, but. I still find it kind of cool that he's willing to, because some of these kids will want to play right away, so he's willing to sit. So that's pretty interesting that he's willing to do that. I mean, listen, it's not like you have a coach that's on the hot seat or anything like that, and the offense was pretty good last year. So
yeah, you're number 1 in the country, and you just got Carson Beck, and there's no pressure on you to come in and play right away, and have to be on the field. The only way you'd have to do that is if he gets hurt. So,
yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right. Anything else you're expecting? Any other changes on the staff or anything else, or they're done now?
No, I think they're done. I think this is pretty much what they're going to settle into. It was this week they hired obviously some other people as well. Damian Lewis, the former you remember Damian Lewis,
D lineman, yeah,
the D lineman. They plucked him off of Colorado staff. He'll be working with Jason Taylor on the defensive line. Heatherman, the defensive coordinator, will be handling linebackers. That's what he coaches. And then you have Zach Etheridge, who comes over from Houston with Will Harris in the secondary. And so that's your new defensive staff. I think it's great for Jason Taylor to bring him back. This is going to be his 3rd year now, I think, with the program. So, he's in a position where who knows what he's going to want to do a year or 2 from now. But
I was going to ask you, is Damian Lewis like being groomed to replace Jason Taylor? That's kind of like
very, very well could be if Jason Taylor goes to the NFL or decides, part of the reason Jason took the Miami job, he's home quite a bit. I don't think he has to do a ton of recruiting except when guys are on campus. And so, the way college football is now, it's not the way it was 5 years ago in terms of the life of an assistant coach. There's analysts and other people around that can handle some of the job for you. And Jason's, got some young kids as well that he's just had here in the last couple of years. So that's part of the reason why he liked the Miami situation. He could be home. But we'll see, once his kids get a little bit older, how much further he wants to take this coaching thing and whether or not he wants to be a D coordinator, potentially a head coach down the road in college or the NFL.
Don't forget, folks, at Caneswear, you got to use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off there, off anything. And if you order online at caneswear.com, you order over $99, you will get free shipping too. And Jeff and the boys, they get it going right away. When you send in that order, they're working on it. You might get it the next day, 2 days after. I mean, it's amazing how fast they ship out there at caneswear.com. So make sure you check it out. They've got anything and everything practically with a Canes logo on it, but they've also got Inter Miami gear with the season right around the corner, Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, even Miami Marlins. So check it out there. Follow my guy Manny on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And when we come back, we will have the Big Cheese Miami.com NIL and recruiting report.
Show.